Idaho Fish and Game is proposing a set of new hunting technology regulations to the legislature this session. It follows growing concerns over rapid advancements in hunting technology. Bringing in Abby Wilt now. Abby, what are some of those proposals?
Hunter, well, they mostly center on retrieving big game animals. So if it passes this legislative session, hunters wouldn't be able to use thermal imaging technology or even transmitting trail cameras to retrieve animals after they're killed.
If we are starting to restrict more and more, it's going to hurt us in the long run.
For hunters like Michael, of course.
I've been hunting actively since 2012 in Idaho.
Idaho Fish and Game's proposed rules on hunting technology is drawing mixed reactions.
I can see in a sense where they're coming from.
A group of 23 hunters, bear baiters, and trappers provided a set of recommendations to Fish and Game on what is and isn't fair when it comes to hunting technology in Idaho. Fish and Game took these recommendations, provided a public comment period, and now they're taking the proposals to the Idaho legislature.
In our community, almost everyone I know hunts. There's very, very few people that do not.
The proposal restricts 4 main technologies: drones, night vision, thermal imaging optics, and transmitting trail cameras. That's all from August 30th to December 31st. For drones, hunters can't use them at all for scouting or hunting for big game animals.
We shouldn't be using drones for the purpose of finding the animals, because they do spook the animals.
Night vision and thermal image technology can be used for scouting, hunting, or retrieval of big game animals. LaCourse says that's something he wishes could still be used for retrieval.
Thermal imaging makes it a lot easier to find your animal, just because you can literally walk past it 20 yards if you lost the blood trail.
For trail cameras, hunters wouldn't be able to use transmitting cameras on federal, state, or local land for big game hunting, and that includes for hunting and scouting. However, Idahoans could still use them to monitor private property and photograph wildlife.
I have no issues with somebody using a transmitting trail cam just to scope out the area. We literally just use them instead of walking in, especially on bear baits.
LaCourse says some regulations have to be in place to protect wildlife, but he worries too many regulations will take away from the joy and practicality of hunting.
And it is very important to preserve that way of life.
Idaho Fish and Game told me they won't comment currently on pending legislation, but Hunter, this is of course something that we'll keep an eye on as the session begins, and we'll keep you updated if there is any changes.
Yeah, that change, if it gets passed through the legislature this year, that could come, but this isn't the first time, or recently there have been changes previous years, right?
Right. Last year was the first time that non-residents had to enter a lottery for deer and elk tags, and that's definitely been a big change for hunters. Even who I was talking to today, he said that it's definitely a noticeable change. And also in 2021, out-of-state residents were limited for big game hunting tags. There's a statewide maximum rather than a per unit maximum to help with congestion. So definitely a lot of changes in the works for hunters, and that have happened in the last couple of years.
Yeah, this year might look a little bit different for hunters when it comes to those.
Yes, of course.
Abby, thank you.